Hi all, welcome back to Beyond the Award, a podcast by Visions. I'm Danny Eilerman, and today we're here with Travis Pedroza. He's our custom award design lead, and Travis, I know you've been in the industry for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Yeah, I started working at Visions back in 2000, and I was here for about 8 years. I left for a few years, and I love the company, so I was pretty happy to come back and get to see some old faces and keep making amazing awards.
All right, so Travis, you've been in the industry for a while, as you mentioned. What first drew you to custom design and the awards industry as a whole?
Well, Visions is in the town I grew up in, and so I interviewed here just because I have an artistic background, and I started working in the art department and kind of moved into design from there. And so it's basically been my life, for the last 25 years is just designing awards.
That's so cool. As a fellow creative, I definitely understand the process that it takes to get from an initial idea all the way to your final design. Can you walk me through your creative process a little bit?
Well, it starts with budget, quantity, and enhance date. Those are like the big three things.
Yeah.
Those tell me what materials I can use, where we're going to produce them, whether domestically or overseas, and it kind of informs the whole process, really. And then on top of that, we also look at the end users, their brand, some of the colors they use, just the feel of the company, whether it's more of a modern or traditional company, and we try to kind of design around all those parameters, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in this industry, the promo industry as a whole, an emphasis on branding is huge. Mm-hmm. So I love that you mentioned that. I think tying into a company's brand, their culture, goes such a long way, especially in awards.
Yeah. That's the industry we're in, right? It's about the logos, it's about the branding. So it's one of the most important parts of it, really.
I think when it comes to custom design as well, technology is constantly evolving.
Oh yeah.
And just like in the world as a whole, not just in the industry, but how do you see that influencing your process and designing awards as well?
Well, it's kind of, we're at a point here. I would be remiss if I didn't mention AI. AI is the biggest thing outside of the industry, in the industry. Sure. It's just upending everything. And I think it's going to speed design up. It's going to allow us to kind of visualize things in a different way and build things in a different way. It's changing the way we produce things. It's changing mold making. It's changing. It really is just changing everything, and it's exciting because it creates normally you're doing Illustrator to cutting files or different file types, and now we're kind of shifting from Illustrator or using AI to build the image of the award, and then to create a 3D model of the award, and then to go and have that 3D model printed. It's upending everything. So really, AI is obviously the biggest change that's going to be affecting everything.
Yeah, that's such a relevant conversation for everybody, and I think it's really cool that we as Visions and you in the design team can kind of lean into, at least be curious about these new ideas and new concepts and stuff. Another idea that really comes to mind when in terms of that evolution of technology. I know at Visions we really, really push our creativeness.
Oh yeah.
So, and initially one of the first things I think of is always our materials. Mm-hmm. When it comes to those unique materials and those innovative processes, is there anything that really stands out to you in terms of something that's your favorite to design with, or that's really cool that you've seen, something like that?
Yeah. I think I love designing. Visions is known for, especially back in the day, was known for marble and stone and metal. And I think there's still a place for all that stuff. Those are timeless materials.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really taking those materials and trying to spin them in sort of a new and creative way. But as far as some of the newer processes that I'm kind of getting reintroduced to, cast resin is probably one of my favorite. It's something that we're very good at. It's very unique. And some of the finishes that we do here are just, it's hard to really describe them unless you're holding them in your hand, but our metallizing is something I'm like a huge fan of, and I'm hoping that we can do a few more things. I don't want to give away too much stuff, but I'm hoping to do some more of that.
No, that's awesome. I definitely agree. Our cast resin abilities are definitely forefront in the industry.
Yeah.
The level of like detail and customization to any brand, any event through those completely custom like figurines and trophy styles are, you're right, are very, very cool. So I do have to ask, if you could design any award, any industry, any event, freedom completely with budget, materials, in-hand date, all the things, what would you design?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think what's exciting to me is some of the, I feel like, especially Formula One and the video game award industry, they're really pushing design about as far as you can go.
Yeah.
So I think if I had unlimited anything, it would be to design some sort of video game award type thing, and because there's a lot of metal involved in there, and there's a lot of lights, and it's just really pushing the envelope of what you can actually do. There's electronics going in there, there's cast elements going in there, and it all has to look modern and sleek. So really, we already do a lot of NASCAR pieces.
Sure.
And we're incorporating a lot of that into our NASCAR designs now. But I think the video game industry and some of the Formula One stuff, they kind of push the design envelope a little bit. And I think I would like to tackle some of that stuff.
That's so cool. I love that you brought up like video games. I think there's such an artistry to the video games themselves anymore. Like the design, the everything that goes into those world building and all of the graphics and stuff that are within the video games themselves, and to tie that into an award design, I can see the vision.
Yeah, it's challenging, I think, but at the same time, it's, you create this beautiful piece that represents the game and just has a high art, high sort of fashion kind of all built into it. I don't know, it's great.
Yeah. And so kind of on that topic, we have beautiful pieces here at Visions, especially when we get the chance to do something custom.
Yeah.
How do we turn something, in your eyes, from an award, something like a trophy that sits on a shelf, to being this like meaningful work of art that has value to its recipient?
I think you have to make it, first of all, you got to make it sort of personalized to the company.
Yeah.
When I feel like when you are part of an organization that you love, and you see that aesthetic and that sort of a brand understanding kind of flowing into the design, I think you're more tied to it, and I think you want to display it more. And I think that also includes finding a way to take those elements and not make it. There's nothing wrong with an award. We sell them all the time, but we're trying to elevate it. That's what the art of recognition is all about, is elevating it to more of an art piece, a sculptural piece, something that you're proud to like set, front and center on your fireplace, or or on a shelf in your office where you can look at it every single day. That's when our team is designing. I feel like that's what we're designing for. We're not designing just to please the customer. We're designing to really make a connection with that recipient.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think that ties so much into some of the conversations I've had on some of the past episodes of recognizing employees is not just about the the giving of the object. It's about creating that connection, that making people feel valued for what they've done or the accomplishments that they've had. So I love hearing that, and I think the design aspect of it goes so far into accomplishing those goals. So we talked a little bit about technology and how like the world's constantly evolving. It's going so fast.
Yeah.
How do you see the award design as like an industry, as these trends come through? How do you see that evolving in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think that basically things will streamline. I think that we'll be able to do a lot more with a lot less, and I just think that that might speed up timelines. Now, to keep everybody's expectations low, I think you're still going to have lead times. You're still going to have if things are made overseas, you're going to have on the water times.
Sure.
I think the front end design will probably speed up a little bit, and I just think we're going to have a lot more creativity and we're just going to see a lot of looks, material shapes, just things that are kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. And that's the thing about change is sometimes when we go one direction, there's also a natural tendency to sort of shift back and go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So we may see some classic materials kind of make a comeback, and hopefully with a little bit updated look. But I think you never stray too far from some of the classic materials and design. So it's going to be sort of a give and take, I think, between modern and then that sort of more sort of a push back to the classic.
No, I think that's such a great point. I think we can see it in not just awards, but in culture in general, how like fashion and stuff like that, trends kind of like evolve, and like you kind of come back to some of the old ones, but with a new spin on them.
Yep, definitely.
And so I can definitely see that happening here as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so then I have one more question for you, Travis, here.
Sure.
We talked a lot. You've got lots of experience. You're a very knowledgeable guy. In your full experience with the industry and all of your design experience, what makes Visions stand out in the industry?
Oh, that's pretty easy. I think we are hands down. We have this high end, sort of brand. I feel like it's we have these materials that are a lot different than any place else, and it allows us to be more creative. It allows us to push the envelope a lot more.
Yeah.
We can do some amazing stuff, and I've worked at some other places, and I think what I love about Vision so much is that there is so much potential.
Yeah.
There's so much untapped potential, really, too. We can take what we do and we can go so many different places with it. And I get excited coming to work every day because I know that I'm going to have an opportunity to kind of really explore what we can do with resin, what we can do with marble, what we can do with stone, metal, glass, acrylic. I mean, there's just so many options and so many ways to combine things.
Yeah.
It's exciting, and I think that's what makes Visions different. Is we're not just stuck in one category, really.
Yeah.
We have a broad range of opportunities with materials and processes, and we can just take it to amazing places.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that goes to show how much of an emphasis Visions puts on pushing those creative limits, pushing those trends, being trendsetters. So I love hearing that, and I hope other people can see those waves being made as well.
Yeah, so, I agree.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the podcast today. Loved having a conversation with you.
Yeah, it was great.
For all you watching up here, make sure you like, subscribe, and let us know if you have any other topics for future episodes.
Thanks.